Hello, everyone. Welcome to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob, and this is the 8th episode in my third Age of Wonders 3 Advanced Strategy series. I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into the comments. I don't think I'd really need to recap much from last episode, other than the fact that I completely failed at casting Scales of Fortune on my capital. But most of you have probably seen that episode if you're this far, so I'm just going to go straight into the comments to save some time here. Let's see. Let's start with Tarsik. He had mentioned that I should consider getting Cloak and Dagger as a potential research option. Right now, the general consensus among those who are commenting seems to be Iron Grip, which I agree with. I think this is the most important. That plus 300 morale is huge and could really benefit my cities. But also Quick Dash to aid in the healing of my hero's army down south. I think that I'm going to finish Iron Grip either way, because I just want to start casting that ASAP. But I think Cloak and Dagger would be wise to at least get one level of, since it would allow me to cast this spell in 2 turns if I need to do so. It would also give me the ability to cast Quick Dash 3 times instead of just twice. It doesn't really benefit Iron Grip much because Iron Grip costs 40, so, well, I guess in a sense it does because I'd have leftover casting points. I think it would be useful to have at least 10 more casting points. That's increasing mine by 50%. That's a pretty large percentage margin. So I'll probably grab Cloak and Dagger before getting Quick Dash. I think my hero's army can last without it a little longer, but admittedly, it's a little tough right now because down here you can see she's pretty damaged, and that spider's pretty damaged. His Guardian Flame will help in combination with her faster healing for being a hero, but it's still a lot of damage that I could otherwise kind of manually heal myself. Natty Eck had lots of suggestions for lowering resistance following in the last episode how I talked about how stunning a unit or physically impeding its movement doesn't necessarily lower its resistance, making it easier to convert, but there are lots of other debuffs. Being immolated, cursed, weakened, having your spirit broken, being disgusted, embarking, Noxus vulnerability, and being poisoned. Those all factor in and lower resistance. The easiest one to probably get is Curse, because as he correctly pointed out, the Succubi have it that I'll be able to make in this city up here eventually. Well, in really any of my cities once I have the spell researched. Succubi also have Seduce, so that is just kind of a natural, reasonable thing to do as a rogue. I think any rogue class can do that. Combine Curse with Seduce. I'm pretty sure all Succubi have that, so that's something that'd probably be the easiest way to do it. Rogues can inflict severely poison, but that effect seems to be different than the regular poisoned effect, and it doesn't lower resistance as far as I could tell from the wiki. I think regular poisoning lowers resistance, but rogues don't have that. They only get inflict severely poisoned. I would need a Necromancer if I was going to do that. The Robo 121 morale boosting item should have stayed with the elf since she is underground. That is a excellent point and one that I didn't think of. I was thinking a little bit too much about the the Tigran race governance upgrades. That's kind of the rationale that I had for doing this the way that I was doing it, because I was thinking of Deity making all Tigran units more likely to deal critical damage, and it's not all Tigran units, it's specifically irregular infantry and pikemen units. So that doesn't do my hero any good. So she should actually send that item back to the elf once it reaches her. I think it's already on the way. That straw hat of the happy farmer, yeah. So I'll probably send that back when she gets it. It's gonna arrive in 1 turn. Shouldn't take me too long to send it back. 1 or like 2, maybe 3 turns. Let's see, Civ 5 added. He was talking about morale boosting items. Or no, not sorry, reading the wrong comment. He was talking about selling treasure site rewards more often. He actually suggested selling all of them during the first portion of the game when you're getting them from weaker structures that don't give you as good of items, just to help supplement your economy. And that is a good idea. It's a legitimate strategy. I prefer to keep any items that give like a stat boost to my heroes. So like +1 defense, spirit protection, those are useful. But I do have a tendency to just, without thinking, kind of click take reward. And that doesn't really do you much good when you get items like the fortifying cup of tea, which cures disease. It's kind of like, big deal. That's probably never going to be useful. So I should consider selling items probably more often than I do, or specifically selling the treasure rewards immediately after collecting them from a dungeon or treasure site. Arch Redbeard, he had suggested that based on my enemies, break control and poison resistance seem like good ideas. Let's take a look again at my enemies real quick. The Druid is going to have poison damage, so poison resistance obviously very useful. The Necromancer also is going to be dealing poison damage. I should probably have a way to resist that since many of my units will still be vulnerable to his frost magic. But he's also Draconian, so on that note he has fire magic and at least I'll have an edge there. And then the Tigran Rogue, that's going to have poison damage, also going to have charming units, class very similar to my own. So, yes, I think those would be good things to focus on. Eventually, or maybe I already have it, I think my hero can get poison resistance. For the army, I think it is counter poison. So yeah, that'll be helpful for her army going up against the rogue. I'll need to remember that she has that. And then just any other way, I think my sorcerer can probably get break control. That kind of stuff would be useful, and I'll need to try to keep that in mind. And then Silly Putty, this is one that I'm probably going to need to do something about now. He suggested building a Masters Guild in my capital city. The reason being is that although the Masters Guild won't quite get me the 15 production that I need, because I have 78, 15 would put me at 93. When the city's borders grow, I should get an extra, third of whatever an extra +5 to production. Well, no, I think that's going to be really close. I'm not sure if he had the math on that right, because I think he was thinking the Masters Guild gave 20 production, when in fact it only gives +15. So basically when your city's borders grow, you get a certain amount of production, and I can't, you know what, I apologize. I wish I could go back and look at his actual comment right now, but that would require going out, logging back in, and I don't want to really break up the recording like that. I'm going to trust that he was right about this, that he did the math correctly, because I think I might be remembering it wrong. But basically, if I build that Masters Guild now, I not only can stop casting Scales of Fortune, I should still continue casting it, but I will be able to make these guys in one turn instead of two, and this will also benefit future production on units. So I think he's got the right idea. I'm going to trust he did that math right, and we'll find out. But I'm going to cancel the Mystic for now, and I am going to go ahead and produce the Masters Guild now. And even if he didn't have the math... Oh, yeah, I forgot. In order to do this, I'm going to have to cancel the growth of this city. That's kind of okay, because I can't really... I was going to build a storehouse so the city could start growing. I can't really do that on this turn. I'm going to build housing instead. Having the city start growing fast now doesn't do me that much good, because I can't clear any of these structures yet. So I'll go ahead and just let that one build housing instead of producing a storehouse, which actually probably gives it more growth in the short term. And I'm going to build the Masters Guild here. Alright, that's all the comments. Oh yeah, one more thing. Silly Putty also mentioned that I need to be careful about how many cities I turn into vassals. And he's right, I need to pay attention to my alignment. And right now it's at 50, so I've got some wiggle room here. If it looks like I'm going to need to declare war on anyone to lower it, the undead are going to be my target. In fact, once the mystics are ready, I might run down there and declare war on them anyway. Right now I'm not going to, because I don't really want to deal with, in case I need units to pass through this area, I don't really want to deal with that. But once those mystics are done and I've cleared this ruin, they could pretty quickly run straight down this road, maybe even get the haste berries along the way, and then go deal with those undead. So that's kind of the plan. The undead city's really terrible. I don't need them as a vassal because it gets me no benefits really, or very little, whatever's base value of what's being produced in the city. The dragons, obviously I do want to be nice to them. It'd be easier for me to buy them than capture them, I think. Especially with how far away they are. And then I could always just declare war on this giant city since it's so far away. I'm not going to be able to do anything with it for a while. Okay, with that all being said, let's go ahead and just go to the next turn here. I'm going to ignore all of these for now. Except for that I did meet this... Okay, so I already turned them into a vassal. I am going to have them tell me when they're ready to talk. And there's another elf city up here that I want to do the same with. Where are they located? Right here. Okay, let's go ahead and head to the next turn. So, starting to cast this now, I can kind of just let it go, because it's going to actually be ready before... that's going to... maybe I should have summoned crows first. That's going to actually be ready before I'm ready to build mystics in this city. But on the other side, I can always use the spells in battle. You know, I could cast a few spells during battles if I need to. And maybe that's what I should do. Okay, Grelka just got Eternal City. It's not surprising that the Druid would get that. I was not trying for it at all, so that's just something that was expected to happen eventually. Alright, I already know this Bard is following this group over here because I want a charming unit. The question now becomes whether I want to send them in and start clearing structures now, or whether I want to wait for that Bard to catch up so I can try to get some units out of all this. Really, since I'm not sending a settler out in this area, I think this army could afford to hold up for a little bit. I could go and take the monster ruin at least, but let's see what's in there. Okay, there's a bear. I really do want that bear. I'll tell you what, I really want that bear. So I'm trying to think of what else this army could really do while they're waiting for her. And I feel like having that Bard up here would just be a wise decision because of the conversion options that it offers. Will that... Okay, that Haste Berries is going to be recharged in one turn. I think she could make it there. She'd take one turn to get here, and then it looks like... Yeah, she could get there on the next turn. So she could actually kind of catch up to the group by hitting those Haste Berries. So really, all I need to do is wait just a couple more turns for her. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to leave this army positioned right here. So if anything does come this way, I'm only going to get hit by one stack. I hate to have them just sitting around doing nothing, though. I feel like there's got to be something useful they could do, but I'm just not sure what. None of these units have tunneling or anything like that, so they can't really just dig around. Maybe I should go ahead and clear that. And then go down and let the Bard come down and join me when she can get down here instead. Because going this way, I gotta go out and then down. I'm gonna wait. I really want that bear. It seems foolish to wait and not do anything, but I want to have a second chance at getting that bear if Befriend Animal fails. It's too valuable of a unit to pass up right now, I think. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and build the storehouse in this city, now that the other city's begun production of the Masters Guild. And, oh wait, I might need to put that on hold, because this city is, again, the priority. Yeah, that city is a priority right now. So, again, cancel that, build more housing. Go back to this city here, and I'm going to build probably an observatory. I want to get the borders expanded a little bit. Observatory, I could get this in my borders one turn faster, as well as that extra gold mine, plus the extra research. Seems like a reasonable option. I may need to think about actually leaving some units back to kind of keep an eye on this city while it's building up. That might be something that this Axeman would be better suited to go do, as well as the extra Prowler that I have in this group. Maybe even one more unit once once I start producing Mystics, I could start sending them down here into this area too to keep an eye on things. Just for the time being, I'm going to send that Axeman back. I'll leave the Prospector up there to continue digging. But I'm going to send the Axeman back. Let's see here. Let's go here, then go like... Can he go all the way up? No, they can't actually go to that very top. This is technically out of bounds here, so... I will send him here. here, here. And I'm going to be careful about how I do this last spot. I may want to leave this wall here in case I decide to put something there. Could probably just put it on the other side, because I think at most I'm only going to have 2 stacks defending at any given one of these choke points. But I will leave that option open to me at the very least. I could get this, and then, you know, since I'm not really digging with him a whole lot more over here, I think I'll send him over to this side and start digging this out right here. It does kind of give another way for units to come after me, but I'm not that worried about that because I don't expect there to be a lot of computers in this portion of the map for a little while yet. Alright, my poor dwarf city just can't really do much besides produce merchandise. So that's what they're going to keep doing. I could build a laboratory here. That might not be a bad idea. Just, you know what, I am going to do that. This city should probably build something at least. The laboratory will take it a little while to construct, but I can't afford it, and it gives it something to do. Builders... It'd take too long, though, now that I think of it, because this city's generating an extra 20 gold every time I produce merchandise. So if you think 5 turns of not producing merchandise, that cost me 120 gold just to get a laboratory. I think I'll produce merchandise one more time and hopefully get enough to build a builder's hall so I can make things in here faster. I'm not really sure what the right call is in that situation. It's kind of tough. Okay, this city finally has some extra production from that, but I still don't have enough money to build anything that I want to in here, except for Stables of Vigor. Again, though, I'd rather have a builder's hall in this city, and I think I would want one here first. In fact, this might be a case where I could sell an item if I have one that I'm not really using or don't really need. Let's check to see who's carrying what. I want her to have those boots. That harpoon has actually come in handy a couple times. I'm going to send this back to my druid now that I'm thinking of it. So I'm going to keep that harpoon. He's got the first strike spear. All of his stuff is pretty useful. Can't think of anything that I really want to sell just for the sake of getting that builder's hall a little bit faster. I kind of want all of these items. I should put that there while I'm thinking about it. I'll just let the extra gold pile up. You know, I'll probably get some gold from playing on this turn. I'm sure I'll pick some up. In fact, I know I will, because I have the spell that lets me pick up gold from fallen enemies. So let's stop talking and start fighting. I'm going to send him in, since they're going right back up to that tomb after this. I'm going to say no mercy. I'm going to try to get another spider in the group. I have no idea where the heck this guy's... Okay, well, what's actually happening here is the computers are dumb. They blocked his route with these units, so it recalculated the shortest route from point A to point B for this guy, and it took him all around. So basically, I only have to deal with 3 of these spiders up front instead of 4. 2 of these have phase, so I can't really avoid them trying to web me. I'm just going to have to get ready to counterattack them. I could run out and engage the battle, but I want to let them come to me because I want a good chance at trying to convert them. And the one that I think I want to try to charm, that vampire spider baby, is also the one closest to me. And I would prefer to kill these ones and then try to charm him. And they're too far back. So, let's go ahead and look at their phase range first. I'd prefer to keep them off of the swarm darters. So I'm going to position those 2 units with the higher defense like that. Range units in the back. Leave him in a position where he can flank and counter. Fairies here. And then just kind of set up a perimeter with the rest of these units. One thing I want to make sure of is that my rogue is in good range to get anywhere he needs to, or she needs to try to charm that vampire spider, should the need arise. I'd prefer to also keep him in the back so he can make use of his pounce ability. I don't want him to get webbed. I want that spider to stay pretty far away from everything. In fact, I probably should use Guardian Flame on it. Make sure... See, they could teleport to that spider right now and kill it. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to actually put that spider here. They might teleport onto the Druid if I do this. No, they can't. Or not the Druid, the Dreadnought. They could get one shot at trying to web him. The spider could move to that spot. It'd be a lesser web. I could put the fairies there to prevent that from happening, and that's what I'm going to do. That way I can Guardian Flame this guy in relative safety, leave him on defense, so he should be okay. I also need to be careful because the Nightshade fairies will take extra damage from these spiders. However, a single attack from both of them won't kill one. Alright, that all looks good. Is my hero in range of a phase? She is. I probably should have thought about that a little more carefully. I'm gonna... I can't use them to block. I could use the bear. Okay. I'll expose the goblin. No, I'll expose the orcs and leave the goblin in the back. I will move the saber-tooth chariot here and the bear here. That prevents both spiders from phasing onto me. Or actually just prevents the one, because the other one couldn't reach anyway. And this will allow me to cast something like Stoning, which I will do on probably the big one. Yeah. I probably really didn't need to do that. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. I don't think I'm going to need... I don't think using up the casting points was worth it. Just because I don't need Scales of Fortune right away doesn't mean that I should just waste my casting points unnecessarily. Okay, they spent 3 webs to web that guy. They did get him, but that's okay. The Vampire Spider, the one I want, is also closest to my rogue, so trying to convert him won't be a problem. The Swarm Darters don't do a lot of damage against these guys. I probably should have actually left them more vulnerable than the mages. This thing has sprint, so I can get that up to really anywhere. It also has phase, but in this case I'll just use sprint. I'm going to turn this spider around and deal some damage to it. I'm going to try to charm this thing with my hero. Kind of get her out of the way. Alright, no luck there. I don't have any other units that can convert, so at this point it becomes a, well, I need to kill all of these guys type of thing. Now that they're turned around, I can move the mages back and focus their firepower on the Hunter Spider Queen. But I want to try to turn that Spider Queen around first so I can get a flank attack. I also probably need to try to pounce the Spider Queen because she's not in a very good angle for me to hit her. I should be able to kill her, I think. This bear can probably wreck that spider. Yep. That leaves him open to throw the Sun Spear at this one to kill it, and then get a flank attack on that one to kill it. Okay, so I'm perfectly good here. No worries. And then it's just the other one. Should probably use this as an opportunity to give somebody experience. Probably the Dread Spider Baby if I can. Oh good, and he's going right in that area. Let's see if I can web this thing. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of that. I'll just let that spider finish him off. There's nothing in particular my rogue can do here. Yep. We'll just let it go. So that's a little extra level for them. No free spiders for me, though. That's too bad. I really wanted to top this army off with 6 units. Ooh, ooh, that's a good item. That's a really good item. And a quiver of poisoned arrows to add extra blight damage on top of that. So, I have mosquito darts now. and a quiver of poisoned arrows, which makes them even better. Unfortunately, it's the same damage channel. I kind of prefer to diversify the damage channels, but he is going to turn around and give those right back to her, because I want my rogue to have that stuff. The Dreadnought's more of a melee fighter. I'd prefer to give him stuff like shields and things like that. Okay, very, very nice. Useful to have. This also benefits just my other weapons too, but the mosquito darts is probably going to become like her go-to weapon. In fact, I'm going to just switch that because I think that'll put it higher in the order. Yeah. Okay, going for the tomb next. For the tomb, I am going to take both of my heroes, both the fairies, the Node Serpent, and, well, probably the Spider just for levels. The Spider is silver rank. I bet I could get that leveled up or close to leveled up in this battle. So I'll bring it along. Oops. Oh, I did that in the last episode. Never mind. Looks like I'll just have to settle for pesky bandits instead. I'm going to ignore that dungeon for now. Although I probably could clear it, I'm kind of anxious to go after the rogue. I need to find the nearest cave entrance, probably in this area somewhere, and go up and try to kill them really fast. I think this army is strong enough to do some major damage to them, if not outright kill them. Okay, I already took care of that. Alright, I have a little more production now, or gold now, and I'm going to use it to build a builder's hall there. Let's continue exploring with these guys. They probably should start heading down towards the enemies now, so I can scout out their above ground land. Can't quite make it to those haste berries there. Also got crows underground. This group is going to go check out... Oh yeah, that's right. They're going into this unexplored northeast area of the map. Oh, that's right. I shouldn't forget. I have this quest out here for the orcs. That is kind of what this army is on its way to go do. I would send them past to go do that now, but I'm afraid that in doing so, the monster... You know what? No. I'm not going to sit around with these guys any longer. I'm going to send them out because she is going to take about as much time to catch up to them as it would take for them to get up here, complete the quest for the orcs, and go back down. I forgot about that. So thinking about it in those terms, I'm going to send them out now. And they'll cut right through there and go straight for that orc quest. I really appreciate all these no mercy options I'm getting here. Okay, so one thing I can try to do to improve my chances at converting that bear, as Natty X suggested, is to use Throw Sun Spear. That has the potential to immolate a unit. I was thinking these fairies might get like... No, they get Cure Disease at Elite rank. It's not that useful. I was hoping they had some debuff that they applied, but they don't really. So yeah, I'm going to try to set the bear on fire before I try to convert it, just to make things a little easier on me. Alright, that kobold has wandered into range of my druid and is going to regret it. Okay. And that tiger I'm not particularly worried about at all. Want to lure this bear into attacking somebody. Might as well be the Sun Guard, so they can just hold their ground there. And I want to get somebody in the way so that she has the freedom to move and try to convert the bear on the next turn. Also leaving the mage, preferably, in a position to deal with the bear should the conversion fail. Actually, put the mage here. Leave the prowlers there. Whoop, right there. They might have a chance to hurl net at something. Otherwise, this looks good. I was hoping the tigers would do that. That's extra XP for the mage. Alright. I want to deal with those monkeys, but first things first. Let's try to set that bear on fire. I'm going to opt for the approach that deals more damage rather than less. Whoops, wrong unit. Hang on a sec. I want you guys to go deal with those monkeys. But the monkeys have sprint, so I would need to kill them now. You can actually handle that tiger just fine, I think, so I'm gonna let him stay on defense. Well, would he kill him in two hits for sure? Because the tiger won't actually retaliate twice. Yeah, I'll definitely kill him and only take one hit, so that's fine. The tiger's out of commission. Might need the fairies to help with the with those guys, the dread monkeys, but we'll see how things go down here. 50% immolated. It did not work, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm gonna give this a try anyway. That was a 65% chance, but it did fail. So unfortunately, no bear for this group. That's kind of why I wanted to wait until the bard was here, but, you know, I had to make a decision, and I went with it. So, these guys... Well, I've got a few options here. I'm going to need to turn that bear around. I'm thinking the fairies might actually be able to kill the monkeys. They might. It's kind of iffy. This is where I probably should have kept my heroes. I should have kept Rain of Poison Blades as an option here. Wait, this isn't really as much of an issue as I'm making it, because I have the chariot as well. Let's see if the fairies can... They're in the way of the chariot, though. Wait, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, they're not. I can move the chariot around like that, around the fairies. Move them up there to get them out of the way. We'll see if the fairies kill those monkeys. Okay, I did get them. So that allows me to do this. Oh, okay, never mind. The critical hit will basically ensure that I finish these guys off without a problem. It's a shame, really wanted that bear. Ooh, a big beetle egg. Worth 150 gold. Now this is, I gotta think about this before I say take reward or not. That shield is not that useful. It just gives shield. So that's not very helpful. But the big beetle egg, I'm still gonna take this because I'm underground. Having a big beetle underground would be really nice. I'm pretty sure it gives a unit cave crawling, as well as like poison abilities that would help benefit my chance to convert things. So, yeah, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to sell the shield. Well, I'll let him hold the shield, and then I'll sell it if I need just a little bit of money to buy something. The shield would probably be better off going to the Dreadnought, or... Yeah, shield would be better off going to my Dreadnought for now. I'm not sure about that big beetle egg. Might leave that with this army. Whether it wants to... I want to give it to the Druid or to this guy. Alright, well, we'll close that. Okay, they can continue just a bit, and I should be able to get in range, hopefully wherever this quest... It's right, yeah, they're right there. Hopefully those things move this way, it'll make it a little easier for me to get to them. And, I think I'm going to send this Prowler back, or at least start sending it back, because I'm really uncomfortable with this city back here being completely undefended, just in case anything wanders through there. I want to have a chance to fight back, even if I have to use spells to help. Alright. Crows are going to continue around this way. Hopefully I don't run into anything that picks them off. I'll stop in the forest just because it's a little harder for things to move in the forest, less likely for them to catch the crows. There's another cave exit right there. I should probably go get that marked on the map. Okay, this guy here, I'm going to dig a little path through here just as like a... You know what, I don't need to because I'll never send units down this way. So I'm going to leave the dirt there just because it makes the dwarf city a little happier, and I will go around it. I'm sending him... Oh, that's right, he is on his way over to this city to dig out a bunch of that dirt over there. And I could probably dig some stuff along the way, maybe? There's not really a lot. There's more rock cavern walls. I'll dig a shortcut through here just because I don't want to go all the way around. But otherwise I'm going to try to leave most of the dirt walls intact for this dwarf city. I probably sent this crow the wrong way. Probably should have sent him where my army's going. Ooh, somebody's got a city underground already. With a vault of knowledge. I think following this road to the east will probably be what that army wants to do, or should do. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and end the turn. Here's where casting Scales of Fortune was probably not the best idea. Because now I have Iron Grip, and I could start casting that. And here comes the disjunctions. Someone disjuncted corpse looting. That's going to cut into my gold income per turn. I'm not going to bother trying to recast it right now, because I do want to get this up on my capital just for the 100% critical strike chance for all the mystics I'm going to make in this city. But, well, I'm going to have to deal with that for a little while. Plague of Brigands would be kind of nice, but that's going to take way too long to research. No, I already know what I'm doing, and I'm going to get Cloak and Dagger. And then after that, Quick Dash. So, discard that. Know the city grew again. It's close to having that in its borders, which is really going to help. I mean, that's really going to make the city a lot happier. I'm going to get that, and then I'm going to start digging up all of this over here just to get a bunch of money really fast. I can kind of supplement the money that I was getting with corpse looting with money from digging these walls. Okay, I already have that. This group is going to go after those bandits right there. Maybe I can charge a scoundrel, or charm a scoundrel, that's what I meant. Alright, hopefully I can get some more XP for the spider in this one too. They all seem more interested in going after that army, so I will make them think twice about that decision. I don't see any reason to be particularly careful with this group. Obviously I don't want to take unnecessary damage, but, well, actually I can distract them a little bit with these guys, I think. Let's do that. Let's just move right up to the wall and sit there, let the goblins shoot over it at them. Hopefully these saber-tooth at the wall will be enough of a distraction. Yeah, that leaves him with multiple spaces at which he can shoot. I'll back him off so he doesn't have to take a hit, and I'll let the bear go running up with them. And then at any point I could really break through the wall with any of them, but I'm going to leave them on defense for now. Okay, they're coming back. Going after the fairies. Okay. They're going to be an easy kill, I think, for those swarm darters. Oh yeah, get wrecked. Swarm darters are awesome. Okay, should have probably paid attention to the race of these different scoundrels. I definitely want to try to convert the dwarf. I don't have... Do I have the option to try to set him on fire? I do. I should probably use that. Go ahead and hit him with a sun spear. No immolation. I could try again with the other one, but I kind of need to break through that wall. It's 12 damage, and they will not do nearly enough. Alright. I can try to web them. If I can web them, then I'll have enough time to... Nope, that didn't work either. What about these spiders? What if I punched a hole in the wall right there and moved the hero? Okay, there we go. That'll give me one more chance to try to immolate them. I am just increasing my odds of, or trying to increase my odds of converting them as much as possible. Okay, there we go. They're immolated now. Yeah, it still didn't work. Okay. Just, eat them. Oh, I forgot to use Guardian Flame with my Dreadnought. Should have done that before the end of the battle. Should have healed the bear. Hey, a High Elf Longbowman and Thick Iron Greaves. I'll take the Archer. He's not going to be particularly happy underground, but it's an Elf Longbowman. I mean, that's still useful. Not a bad Tier 1 unit. And he could make use of... Well, actually, you know what? He doesn't need those Greaves, because I'd rather leave Pounce with this guy, with his first strike ability and the fact that I'm turning him to more of a defensive unit. Pounce is like an offensive-defensive ability, if that makes any sense. So let me decide who I actually do want to send this to. We've got her, wetland +1 defense, wetland walking +1 defense, forestry. I think I probably actually will just give it to her and send those boots off to somebody else. Whoops. The other options are the Archdruid and the Sorcerer. Sorcerer's already got that spirit protection. I don't really need her to have that extra movement, so... Although with the type of army that she's got, it might be useful. I'll leave her with that movement, because she might end up being with animals and other things that have wetlands walking or floating abilities. At least she is right now. I'll leave that with her and send the Greaves to maybe the Druid or the Sorcerer. And then probably sell their boots. I'm gonna say the Sorcerer. I'm using him as a little bit more of a melee fighter for now, trying to level him up faster, or I'm trying to whenever I can. We have a Pillar of Champion, or Column of Champions here. That'll add a level to all units in my army. Obviously, I want the spider in on that. Who else could really benefit from a level up? These guys would become champion. Well, okay. Obviously, I want both the heroes in and the spider. So let's go ahead and just separate them out. I want spider. Who next? The Node Serpent would be nice. The Bear would be nice because they're tier 3 units. They level up slower. And then maybe another... Yeah, I'm going to do that. Well, actually, the Fairies, too. The Fairies don't get a particularly useful ability when they level up, though. The Orc Apprentice would get floating. That's not that helpful in this context. I'll just give it to one of the Fairies to buff their damage a little bit. Probably the one that has more XP already. Alright. We're going to have a Champion Node Serpent, a Veteran Bear, and you. I'll have a Blight Spider Queen, or a Dread Spider Queen, after this battle is over. In fact, I may be able to level it up once during this battle, and then it'll get another level after the battle. You can do that with these structures. She's not going to level up. That one is not going to level up. The Bear might be able to, probably can. He won't make it. And that Fairy probably can make it. go ahead and just get that started then for the fairy's sake. She can punch right through their shields, no problem. So yep, she'll be a silver rank after this, expert. Oh, how about I make use of that pounce ability in this case? Get rid of that firstborn. I do want to charm one of these guys, though. Maybe the firstborn would be a wise one to charm. I do like that defensive strike on those axemen, but the Forge Priest has Guardian Flame. Okay, I don't want to kill that Forge Priest. I want to befriend it. Let's try to stun these guys. Or just outright kill them. I need to impede their movement somehow, or kill them. The spider cannot do either. The spider might be able to try webbing that Forge Priest, though. Can they make it? No, they're too far away. I'm gonna try to just... No, because I can't charm it. Ooh, this is a difficult spot. If I charm this guy will turn around and kill him. But if I... You know, they won't move. They won't attack. They won't attack Valdale. I was afraid that if I don't charm him, or if I do kill this guy, or at least prevent him from getting in the way of the Forge Priest, maybe I could immobilize him, but I'd have to get a little lucky. If I do kill him, I was afraid the Forge Priest would suicide itself trying to hit Valdale the Keen. But Valdale the Keen has first strike. He's going to kill them if they try to attack him, and they know that, so they won't. They'll just sit there. The trick is that I need to still kill these guys. In this case, Assassin Strike will be perfect, because just charging them, I probably wouldn't kill them, but Assassin Strike will definitely kill them. That's a good situation to use it in. Alright, so they shouldn't move, and I should have a chance to try to charm them. They do have higher resistance, so my odds are not good, but just the chance of getting another unit with a healing ability. Is there any way that I can debuff them? I know this doesn't matter, but I can always use the XP, so they're webbed now. Any other way I can like debuff them to make this a little easier? I don't think any of these units can, so I will just try. I'm just gonna go. Wait, that did make it easier, webbing them. Did that lower their resistance? Because it was 20% and then it was 35. Well, either way, let's not complain because I just got another healer, so that's huge. That's really, really huge for this army. I think it's probably worth making a quick detour to run down to and clear that structure for XP and for the sake of trying to maybe buy another unit. I will need to save gold for that, though. So let's see what my heroes can get. I got new stuff this turn. Again, kind of just holding off on tunneling for that guy, although it might come in handy here soon. I like this, 20% physical protection. I might get that for him. I know it only benefits him, but it's physical protection. That's still really good. Inflict Immolation might also be nice, because we've established it helps in terms of in terms of making it easier for me to convert things. Plus, it's just good in general. Yeah, well, we're just going to buff this guy as a fighter a little bit. Getting ready to go into combat here. Okay, so those units could actually make it down there faster. Some of them might be able to make it down there on this turn and clear that structure. I'm not sure if I want to split them up or not because I don't know where the enemy units necessarily are. Neither of those two heroes can. I think I want them in that battle so I have the chance of converting something. So I'm just going to reform these armies as they were. or similar to how they were. Already know he's not going to be with them. And now I actually have more than 2 stacks of 6, which is great. Put him here. I might be able to clear the Sphinx Temple on my way back up. I might be able to clear the Sphinx Temple on this turn, actually. Now that I think about it, I could move them here. I want the bear in on that, though. I'll have to wait until next turn to get the bear in. I will put him with that group since he needs the healing. He can heal himself and he'll get healed by that guy. Leave them with the spider. Who else would need to be in on that battle? For a Sphinx Temple, maybe a chariot. They're going to resist that fire damage pretty well. And I think I actually might leave him in that group because he can give Guardian Flame to someone, which will help with fire resistance. You know what? I might want a Nightshade Fairy. Do they have fire protection? They do. They're immune to fire. Ooh, Nightshade Fairies would be great for this. Okay, so I want the 2 heroes. The Node Serpent can actually sit this one out. I want the Nightshade Fairy in on this. I might not even need the bear. Although I do need him to heal first. We'll leave the Sabertooth Chariot out. Replace him with another Nightshade Fairy. My army's getting all disorganized here. Leave them with the bear. So yeah, on the next turn, I think I'll send that army in. The spider might be a mistake. I think I can protect her okay. We'll leave these guys kind of like here. Anyone who can move far enough should. He is not one of them. Alright. Sorry about that, all that thinking and strategizing there, but I think that's going to be a pretty solid army to take on this structure with. 2 units with Guardian Flames, 2 units immune to fire. This guy who is also immune to fire, now that I mention it. Pretty good group. Alright, and then let's see if she can get anything to help make things even better. +1 melee strength for all the units in my army. Inflict severely poisoned, lowers morale, which could be nice. Especially with mosquito darts, although I'm not sure. Okay, mosquito darts don't inflict poisoning on their own. So that would pair well with mosquito darts. She'll probably be using that a lot. Devout Slayer doesn't really help. It's either going to be Weapon Finesse or Inflict Severely Poisoned. I think I'm going to go with Inflict Severely Poisoned here. Seems like a nice ability to have. Especially now that I have Mosquito Darts. And then, let's see, I can get something else. I like Projectile Resistance. I find that to generally be really useful. Go ahead and get that for her too. Okay, up here, can I finally start producing? You know what? I'm going to make merchandise again. Well, no, not... Well, actually, this city could get a small benefit from merchandise. I kind of need all of it I can get, because I don't know what unit I'm going to find in this inn. So, on this particular turn, I'm going to have all my cities, if they have at least 1 gold mine, produce merchandise. Because I want to buy something nice in there to help with my fight, my upcoming battles. That city's almost done with Builder's Hall. This one's still working on the Masters Guild, so don't want to change those. That one's almost done with Observatory. Let's see what we can find out here. Okay, so the Crow has 30 movement. Let me explore down south a little bit. Go over here. I want to try to... Oh, hey, there's a cave entrance. Which one is that? That's the one... Okay, this one is really close to my army, actually. And it looks like this road probably connects to it. It's hard to tell for sure. I'll know for sure as soon as I get that tower. That might be the closest exit to my enemies. I was thinking about turning around and grabbing those haste berries, but I think the Crow should continue along this direction. I need to start scouting out for enemy cities. And I have found one, It's not a very good one. In fact, I think it's just a vassal. Yeah. There we go. There's something a little bigger. I'm probably going to lose that crow, but I know where a city is now. Oh, if that trebuchet wasn't with that group, I would not lose the crow, but... Well, that could be their capital. That's a pretty big city. If I can get out of this cave entrance with my army here, I can make a run straight at that capital. If that is their capital, might be able to, if I'm lucky, knock out the rogue really fast before any of the enemies have a chance to respond. That's kind of the goal here. Okay, you keep moving. You go back. And this guy can join you. Unless he can make it to the city. He can make it within one turn of the city, so I'll put him there. Okay, still got these guys with all their movement. Trying to decide if I should wrap this episode up here. I already know where they're going. Where are the enemies for this quest? They're not far away. Alright. I think I can do this battle pretty quick. Let's try to fit one more in here. I'm trying to keep my episodes under an hour long is the goal. So let's try to, I'm going to try to do this one fast. Okay, that was a Tigran Shredder, which has made a terrible mistake. He's going to get wrecked. Let's do this fast. I don't have anybody, oh yeah, I just have Befriend Animal, that's it. So this army just needs to kill everything here and try to get XP for the Sorcerer if I can. Okay, they almost bounced him twice. Kinda glad they didn't. I don't want to just outright attack that thing. I'll do it with these guys because they have martial arts. Just didn't want the Sorcerer to take that much damage. Okay, and these fairies will probably just destroy those guys. That was really easy. Okay, so I got 69 gold. That will help towards purchasing whatever unit comes from that inn on the next turn. And hopefully these guys will see me and come charging at my army here. After they're done charging me, I'll run up, I'll grab this, I'll probably clear these couple structures and then go back down and start making room for a city here. She also just got a few abilities. Nature's Resistance. See, the problem is that some of these abilities don't do her any good unless she's leading the army, and this army isn't big enough for her to lead her own group. Oh wait, she is the army leader. Never mind, I thought the mage was. Well, that's fine then. In that case, I'll give her Nature's Resistance. And, I would give her Awakened Spirit, but she doesn't have any animals with her right now, so how about just a little extra health instead? Okay, looks good. I think that looks good. Okay, I can get this crow over the lava lake where it's very unlikely that anything will see it, but first I'm going to pop up the cave entrance. I meet hostile goblins, and I don't really think I want to explore much more up here. I'm still more interested in the underground for the moment. There is another city over here, so I'll fly over to go meet them. It's a pretty big city, too. And there's a pile of mana right there. Okay, Draconians. Also not a bad race to have underground. Let's check my alignment. It's at minus 25. I can probably afford another vassal. I seem to be keeping it down by just not showing mercy to anyone. So, alright. I'll think about that. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that. No. I don't want to spend the gold. Alright, everyone. Well, I need to wrap this one up, so I'm going to end it here. But thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. Great comments this week. Was very helpful. And I will see you in the next episode.